Well, welcome back to another episode of Nick and Jeff, the podcast.
You mean the Jane
I
cast?
decided to just keep the Nick and Jeff name,
Okay,
Nick.
okay,
The Jane cast, it's gone out the window. I
okay.
think we don't really have a brand, but I don't know if people are going to look for us, let it be the same search term the whole way. And we've only just changed from Nick versus Jeff onto
Nick
Nick
and
and
Jeff,
Jeff.
yeah.
So
I watched one of our old videos the other day and it's like, oh, don't forget to follow us at youtube.com/Nick versus Jeff and facebook.com/Nick
so
versus Jeff. I'm just like,
to get straight to the point, Nick, I wanted to talk about controllers. I made a video about controllers this week. So really quickly, what is your favorite controller right now?
my favorite controller. The PS5 DualShock or
The PS5?
DualSense or whatever it's called. Yeah. Yep.
I really like the Xbox One at the moment.
Right.
Only because it's the newest to me.
Right.
But there you go, podcast over. We're done.
I would no.
Hey, if you made it this far, thanks.
No, mine's
All right.
the PS5.
We'll talk a bit more about controllers in a minute. But Nick, we wanted to go through some of the comments from last week.
Yes.
Some of you actually left some really nice, kind words. So thank you.
Yes. It was really good. Really, really good.
So Nick, do you want to go through the first question that someone? I
Uh,
think Ryan had a question.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't have, I don't have a million screens like you do. I just have the one screen. So, but from memory, his question, he spoke a little bit about Sekiro and a little bit about Cuphead, and what was it? Went into a little bit about Bloodborne and some other games that we hadn't played, and saying that you should be playing Sekiro. And I
I
don't.
should be. I want to.
I mean, we don't know if it's going to come to PlayStation. It might come to PlayStation Plus one day, but that I think you're waiting for that.
When it's $40, I will commit.
Right, $40 is that sweet spot for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he asked what our favorite bosses are, Nick.
Oh,
And I
right.
think we could totally unpack that and talk forever about our favorite bosses. So I'm just going to ask you, what's your one? Give me your one of your favorite bosses ever.
Okay, so we're not. Okay, so we're saving our favorite bosses for a whole new. That's because you're right. That is a whole thing. We could do a whole podcast.
Nick,
on.
you will talk forever
I
on
will- I
that
will talk about
subject.
it, yeah. Yeah.
Just one. Just give me one boss.
We could do Zelda ones. We could do Final Fantasy, but no, one that. Okay, my favorite one that just sort of comes straight to mind, probably because we've talked about it a lot. Sonic Adventure 2. That final boss is like I mean, that's the thing. I could go with. I have recently played Final Fantasy, and that final boss is awesome with Sephiroth and stuff. But when you do the hero side, you do the dark side in Sonic Adventure 2, and then you do the last thing, and the music starts, and they raise their hand.
Well, Nick, I have committed to that being your funeral song, so no, I'm pretty happy with that.
And just like, how epic was that boss fight in space? And they both chaos control. I just so memorable, and that music is just it holds a special place for both of us. So
Jeez, I didn't see that coming.
really,
Like, that
really?
it hasn't been erased from my memory, but just I didn't picture it as boss fights, but I should because
Right.
it is that is
It's awesome,
bad,
man. It's awesome.
that good.
Yeah, like it's simple. It's
Oh,
just two buttons, just up, like A and B, I think, for up and down, and it's super
think
simple. But yeah,
I also think it's a Sonic trope that like the final boss, the final level is completely different gameplay to the rest of the
rest
game.
of the game, yeah. But it's just two buttons, just dodging lasers and balls, and it was.
Uh-huh.
But like playing that as a kid,
It's very hard.
yeah, loved it, and it just pops into my mind. So I was, yeah.
All right, Nick, do you know how to transition?
Wait, what was?
What do you got to do?
Well, I wanted to know. We didn't talk about yours. We have to talk about what your.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. it's it's not a transition. It's just and back to you. What's
So, Nick,
what's
I
yours?
thought about it really quickly. One of my favorite bosses,
Yeah,
Twin Rover from Ocarina of Time.
Twin Rover. Is that the two witches? No.
It's the two witches.
Yeah, the fire and ice
You
witches.
had the two mirror shields. You had to fight, deflect their elements back at them, fire and ice, and then they combine into one. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just so cool. It was so much fun. I remember I had a save file on the Nintendo 64 just to have that boss fight again and again and again.
Oh, you're right. I really could talk about this all day because you say Zelda and I'm just like, but what about fighting Ganondorf? What about Breath of the Wild Ganondorf? What about this? There's so we have to do a whole
See,
topic.
and this is why
Yeah,
only one boss. Nick.
whole topic for this. Yeah, but that's a
Now-
really great pick. Really great pick.
We did have another question from Mr. James,
Ah, yes.
and he wanted to know what are some of the worst or best glitches you've come across. And Nick, just give me one.
No, I thought of
I know you got a few.
I've got three. I'll make them
give
quick.
me one.
I'll make them quick. I got three real quick ones.
Quick. You quick.
Okay. So I played Returnal this year. The trophies were glitched, and there were things you literally could not get, and I spent 20 hours running around looking for something that didn't exist because it just glitched out. So that's number one. Number two, I talked about last week, the Fallout trophy, trying to get that village to 100% happiness. That made me want to kill myself, and I'm never, ever, 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 ever playing a Fallout game ever again just because of that trophy. And the third glitch is a happy glitch, and it's probably the reason I thought of Sonic Adventure 2 for the final boss. But glitch, cheat, I don't really know what. But so the Chow Garden and your main, so you had your main game and the Chow Garden. Both of them had separate save files. So
do they separate save files? Wow. Yeah, well, I guess one's pretty much Animal Crossing / Pokemon, and one's just a game. So
that's right. And so what I would do is I had my Sonic Adventure 2 save file. I saved up and got myself 5,000 rings. So I got my 5,000 rings, and then I got my Chow Garden. So what I do, load up the Chow Garden, spend my 5,000 rings, raise them sweet little babies, get them nice and strong, and then copy over the save file from another memory card, and then I'd have another 5,000 rings to run into the Chow Garden and spend again, and then copy the save file back onto and just completely break the Chow Garden by spending lots of rings again. So I'm not sure if that's a glitch or a cheat, but it was definitely one of the things that came to mind that made me very happy.
I wonder how many people also had that same problem as you.
I don't know. But, the Returnal one or the
Chow Garden.
All right.
Even I know there were some people as the same problem as Returnal as you, and you had to wait for an update for it to come out and get fixed, right?
Yeah, that was very frustrating. That's why it was my most played game on the PlayStation list last year, because I was running around looking for things that didn't exist. Anyway, so I'm sorry I had to give you three, but I saw the comment and I was like, this, and this. Okay, but what were yours? You're gonna tell me. I get so excited.
Well, you know what? I could say three, but they're boring, right? I want
to know.
Well, I thought, I really actually liked Uncharted Thief's End. No. Sorry, what's the other one? It's coming out just again. Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy, yep.
And it was just that big, giant open world area?
Yeah.
You get to that section and then... Oh, it's not open world, but, you get to that big section and then I just did it all. And then I just fell into the geometry and I was stuck. And then anytime you'd reload the save or reload the checkpoint, you'd reload back into the geometry and you couldn't do anything.
Oh, that's right. I remember that happening to you.
The same thing just happened this week in Halo Infinite. It's the final level and I'm stuck inside. I went through all these annoying enemy waves and then I'm throwing the grenades and they're not going through the wall, or my hook shot's not going through the wall because I'm stuck in an invisible box wall thing. And it's just and then
so
the checkpoints don't work. You have to reload the chapter. And that's in Uncharted's case, that was replaying an hour of content.
Yeah, easily an hour.
And I was just and then the other one, they're all recent, Deathloop, and just I got so frustrated in the glitches in Deathloop, quick, I've done everything, I'm racing back to the end, and I would race too fast back to the door, and the door would no longer unlock. No input into the controller would work.
Yeah.
I was stuck, and then no one would come and kill me either.
That's right.
I had to
I remember you telling me
lose everything.
That's right. I remember you telling me you had a bunch of glitches with Deathloop, but I didn't get them because I played the game after they patched it, or
they would have patched everything.
Yeah, because I didn't get any of that. But I remember, yeah. But you're right. Those glitches where you fall through the world or you end up in some sort of box. There's been so many games throughout the years.
So they're all worse glitches. They're not good ones. I mean, I'm sure there are good ones. But anyway, I remember I just put all those annoying glitches on my Twitter because I'm just I need to rant to somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Nick, how long have we been going for? Have we even got?
We've been going for...
I can't see a time.
We've been going for about 10 minutes. Give
all right,
give us a minute. So that's good. That's good time.
So, hey, if you listen to us this long, thanks. And leave a comment now and we'll address it. We'll talk about it next week. Big or small, we don't mind.
You watch
quite a few. I was actually quite shocked at the number of people that listened to us.
Yeah, me too.
Even for 10 minutes, let alone like the whole 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was that good thumbnail. Yeah, that good thumbnail you had. It was a really good thumbnail.
I'll have to make it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Nick, I want to talk about controllers, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we've got two ways I think we can do this.
Great topic. Really great pick for a topic.
Do you want to go backwards to now? Oh no. The 80s to now, or now back to the 80s?
I reckon we go back in time to forward in time. So the 80s.
So start with the NES.
Start with the NES.
So Nick, the NES controller sucked.
Did it?
Go on, yes. Oh, you got a NES Mini.
Yeah, of course I've got a NES Mini. Yeah.
You
don't have
I
one?
didn't get a NES Mini because I didn't care. But
Right. Oh.
the controller, it's square. It hurts.
No way. You are so wrong on this, and I will fight you.
I'm wrong.
Yes, I'll tell you why you're wrong. Right? Think about the time that this came out in the 1985. But think about the controllers before. This is only awesome because of the controllers beforehand. Remember the Atari 2600, which was just a joystick and one button?
Oh yeah, I guess I know the D-pad is revolutionary, but I guess I've grown up with the D-pad my entire life.
Or like the ColecoVision one.
That's all I know.
Remember like the one that looked like a phone? It had like a joystick with 9 numbers on it and stuff. No. This is, for the time, a perfect controller for the games that existed. A D-pad, up, down, left, right, and 2 buttons. It's perfect.
Another thing I hate about the NES controller, Nick, it's not the controller's fault. It's the gameplay of the time. It's like start and select.
Oh, yeah.
Like the menu options weren't up and down, left, right.
No,
it was select a bunch of times.
Select to select what you wanted to select and then start to accept it, which is just like, I guess a sign of the times, right? But no, you are wrong. This is a great controller for when.
Did you buy the Switch accessories?
The Switch accessories.
I think you get NES Joy-Con. No, you didn't.
No, I don't know. Yeah, that's a great controller for the time.
Oh, you love so. What is there a Sega equivalent, or is that for the Super Nintendo?
That'd be for the Super Nintendo, yeah.
Do you have the SNES one there?
I do.
Oh, we do. Yes. Very excited.
Yeah.
I think I don't have any of the older controllers. I've only got the newer modern ones.
Oh, right. We got them all sitting.
But there. Nick, you know what's so great about being Australian?
What's that?
Is we had this, and Japanese, I guess. We had the superior colored controller.
We did?
Have you seen the American one?
I'm sure I would have at some point in my life.
It is. There's nothing wrong with purple, but it is purple.
Oh.
It's just four shades of purple, or 2 different shades of purple.
Oh, right, really?
Instead of the 4 different colors.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, actually, maybe I might not.
It looks, and you should look at the actual console itself. It is hideous.
Is it really?
Oh, wow. You look up NTSC.
Oh, it's
Super Nintendo.
Is it the weird the top loader one? No.
Yeah, it's all top load. But anyway, the one we got in Australia was just way, way superior.
Okay.
Way nicer.
And I got really nothing to say about it. This controller is fine for it wasn't really. That's the thing. I think the NES controller was revolutionary for the time, making a D-pad, and this is just more of the same. Here's a couple extra buttons. It's a little L and R.
Had the shoulder buttons, man.
Yeah. And it
because I didn't have a Sega, but instead of having shoulder buttons, the Sega had six main buttons.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
And then so having the 2 on top, that was new and exciting, right?
Genius, right? Yeah, genius.
Well, now we've got 4 on top and even more underneath.
Yeah, and I'm glad that even though they colored them, I'm glad they labeled them ABXY because for colorblind.
And it's still the only way to do ABXY.
Look how pretty it is.
I haven't ingrained the Xbox version into my memory. It's just awful.
These 2 controllers, they're just something about them just warms my heart with just I don't know.
Actually, you know what else I really like, Nick?
What's that?
All the buttons are plastic, right?
Yes.
But then start and select rubber.
Yeah.
Rubber material.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It feels good.
It's kind of cool. It's just so weird.
Cool. It is cool.
I feel like the rubber would actually be perfect for one of your sisters to actually eat off.
Oh, God. Stupid sisters. That's an inside joke. My little sisters did eat the rubber off my GameCube controllers when I was growing up. Bitches.
Tasty.
I guess.
Did you have any Sega controllers there?
I did, but I can't find them. I don't know where they are.
You were a Sega kid. I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
What?
I
No.
barely touched them.
I had a Mega Drive. I didn't have a Sega Master System, not a Mega Drive. It was like the earlier one.
You had an Atari too as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought you had some sort of wood panel one.
Yeah, the old man had an Atari. Yeah, the wood paneled Atari. Yeah. Terrible controller. Just a joystick.
Is that and that's the one with the joystick?
Yeah, this weird like. Oh god! Thank God that we didn't evolve to keep using that thing. Like, what an atrocious piece of crap that was.
I guess it's crazy. You go from a whole fist to just using your little thumb.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense. But yeah. Anyway, you want to move on? We got.
What comes up, Super Nintendo, Nick?
I've got the Nintendo 64 controller, all wound up the same way that everyone else would have wound them up growing up. Surely, I don't know if that's.
Oh, actually, you know what? If you're still here and listening, what is the correct way to wind up the Nintendo 64 cord?
Is it
crisscross?
Yeah, like I would go like that, like that.
Yeah, I would do the cross.
That's right. What other way were people doing it? They'd be psychos.
I think sometimes the real psychopath would just wind it all on the one side.
Oh, right. But what a horrible piece of trash this is. Like, you think the NES controller was bad? No, that's perfect. This thing, it gave us Jesus hands. It was a terrible controller.
All those games in Mario Party, it's just
like, and just like, do you hold it? Some games you hold it like this. Some games you hold it like
what were they
this.
thinking?
It's just like
Nick, but it gave us the Z button.
The trigger underneath.
The revolutionary Z button, Z targeting,
that's sweet.
ground pound, trigger. Like, the LNRs weren't triggers before,
No,
and now they are.
No.
Because of that Z button.
It's like, you know what? The controller's not too... It's just the joystick. It's just the joystick on this thing.
And what happened? Just... Why did they drop select all of a sudden?
Ugh. But, ugh. It would just get so worn. This one's still pretty good nick, if I'm honest, but it's just like...
I'm actually surprised if you're a Nintendo Switch subscriber thingy-majig, you can buy the Nintendo 64 controller.
Wireless.
But it's got USB-C, Rumble. I think it's got Rumble built in, and it's wireless.
Yeah. You look, they're gone, though. They're like $60-$70 each, and you look on eBay, they're $200.
I think because they were grey, I'm just like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. So... I mean, it was cool when they introduced like the clear ones. I don't know if any other console had done that until then.
Yeah, I had the clear purple controller.
How ugly was the Dreamcast controller?
I've got Dreamcast footage here somewhere, actually. But you know what? The Dreamcast, it was trying to make that leap. It wasn't quite PS2, was it? But it didn't have dual thumbsticks. It only had one.
Yeah, and that weird little... Was it like a weird little screen or something on it?
Yeah, you could get like your memory card, and I think you could play it like a Game Boy, like mini Game Boy games or whatever.
Because I think you borrowed it.
Like a cool concept.
Didn't you borrow a Dreamcast off one of your friends? I swear you.
Yeah, I think
there was one at your house.
Boys.
At some point, there was one at your house growing up. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what, Nick? We didn't have. We borrowed this. We borrowed the Dreamcast. We had Soul Calibur. We had some NFL game, which I think me and you got actually pretty good at. NFL, Gridiron?
Probably makes sense. Something like that.
Madden? Probably Madden. And then we had Sonic Adventure, but we had no memory card.
That's right.
We had to leave it on and try and get as far as possible. And I think Sonic Adventure is actually not that long, but I didn't know there was like 7 campaigns or whatever.
Yeah.
With Amy and Big the Cat and Tails and all that other junk.
Yeah, that's funny.
But did it have special triggers? Were they just digital clicks, or were they triggers?
I can't remember. I didn't have one, and what little time I ever held that controller would have been at your house for a couple minutes, maybe. Yeah.
And neither of us had a PS1. Did you have a PS1?
No, didn't have a PS1. But isn't it funny how that's the one controller I don't have in here. I didn't bring a PlayStation controller. I'm an idiot. But
I got you covered there. We're not up to it yet.
But isn't it funny how like the PS1 controller, they haven't evolved like Nintendo. Every single Nintendo controller, different. Sony one, little just tweaked until they've reached the latest one. But it just
the PS1 controller was just a straight up copy, right, off the SNES
Yeah.
with a crappy D-pad, and then but it had L2 and R2, which is a pretty new thing.
But it had 2 joysticks.
And then, well, no, it didn't originally have joysticks,
didn't it?
They've re-released a different controller, which then and this is a PS3 one.
But
I'm getting ahead of myself. But the PS1 and PS2 controls are pretty much like this anyway. So
yeah, very, very similar. Like
man, this feels awful.
It is, isn't it? It's very small, and the rumble's terrible. And I remember going to your place when we were like 18, 19. You got your PS3, and you had like one controller that rumbled and one that didn't. It's like, oh, this one's got this one's got the 6-axis, but this one rumbles. It's just like,
We're getting ahead of ourselves, Nick.
Oh, sorry.
I can't talk about PS3 yet.
I just get so excited. I'm sorry. I have problems. You know this.
So, Nick, we've done 64. Sorry, we didn't have PS1s. PS1 sucked anyway. But let's be real. Like, are we moving on to the best controller ever?
The best. Well, I mean, at the time.
What do you got? You got a white one?
I got a white one as well. I mean, I've got other...
I reckon my white one's actually looking a bit yellow, or maybe it's just the light.
No, you're right. Mine's got a slight yellow tinge.
It's not like the other electronics, but it's definitely not like pure vibrant white like it used to be.
Yeah. But not this trash though. Remember, like we were all excited as kids. We got the black and the purple GameCube controllers.
Yours looks better than mine.
Yeah, mine's newer. But the champion is the one in your right hand there. That Wavebird.
The Wavebird.
Remember how like excited we were with the Wavebirds and like, oh, you're on my channel, get off my channel. And
the little frequency button down the bottom.
Like the Wavebird for the time.
Like that was so fun and so cool.
I think that...
Yeah, and we'd sneak. We'd change the little RF receiver. There's like 16, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then it recommended if you had like multiple people, like you should be like, frequency 1, 4, 8, 12 or something.
Yeah.
Like don't be frequency 1 and 2, otherwise it sort of mixes itself in.
But I remember the amount of times like I'd be losing at Smash Brothers and like you were on frequency 1 and I was on frequency 2 or something, and I'd just like roll my controller over to 1 so you couldn't do anything. Like, oh, my controller's broken. It's like, is it?
I really love the C stick. Like, I like that it's a different shape and feel.
Yeah.
The D-pad looks really small now that I'm looking at it. Like, really.
It does.
Really small.
It does, doesn't it? But I like how springy the C stick is. The C stick is really springy on the GameCube controller.
I feel like it feels perfect still.
It feels great, doesn't it? Like, so many great memories with this controller. So many great memories.
I don't mind the little chunk the Wavebird brings. I do miss the rumble.
Yeah.
I remember there was some like Kelly Slater's surfing something, Pro Surfer. And I'm like, normally I use the Wavebird, but I'm like, oh no, I need to feel the rumble of being on the wave.
Yeah.
So I had to change to the purple GameCube controller.
So many great memories with this controller. I feel like this is what, we had 64s, we had Super Nintendos, but I feel like we didn't really become like gamer, like really invested. Like this is cemented in our personalities.
This is our hobby for life.
This is who we are now. Once we got, because like we were still kids playing the Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye and Mario and stuff like, but the GameCube is where we finally were like, this is who we are. And it just like, yeah, so many great memories.
You like, have any other controllers mimicked the GameCube like triggers? Like you can push it down a certain bit and then it will click into something else.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but like, so you see there and then it goes click. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question.
Nick, and do you like the odd shaped buttons?
Absolutely. Something about
I love them.
Something about the way your thumb would roll from A, like the way it rolled from A to X, and the way your thumb rolled up to Y, and I don't know, just I like it. I love it.
Yeah, I can't do it on camera. It's like doesn't quite work, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Can't flip my hands around to do it.
Like, I keep hitting the mic, but yeah, you have to. Anyway,
and then one of my favorite buttons. Nick, I was going to ask you what your favorite button is, but I'll just tell you what
Yeah.
mine is now.
Yeah.
It's the little mini Z button.
Yeah. Oh, how
It's
great.
so cute. I love pressing it. Like it just felt good. I kind of wish the other modern controllers had similar style shoulder buttons.
Yeah. But I guess
Maybe they're better now, but like
it
at
was
the time, I don't know, it just felt great, felt good.
well, it was Nintendo's R1 button, like not R1, R2, but like they had to keep the Z trigger from the 64, but they're like, oh, where do we put it?
We'll put it up there.
Just put it up the top there. That'll do.
And like, why not do another one? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, surely they could have. They didn't want to copy Sony and do
L1 R1.
L1 R1, but like, why? Like, you're missing out. Like, all the other controllers have more buttons.
And like, where's the symmetry? As someone with a little bit of OCD, like, why is there one on this side but not on the other side? Like,
I guess all the knockoff GameCube controllers they've got it now, so like you can still have that same experience.
Great controller though, so many great memories.
Yeah, Nick, like PS2. Well, I can talk about PS3 controller in a minute, but did you have a PS2?
No, we didn't have PS1s. We didn't have PS2s. We didn't jump on till the
We didn't have an original Xbox. So Xbox had a
how chunky,
really chunky controller.
So fat.
And then I think they brought out a S controller too.
Yeah, just chunky.
And it was like a revised, more streamlined one, but
chunky, fat controllers.
But so skipping those, but Nick, then we can go straight on to crazy time of the crazy time of the Wii. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Of course.
But you had the original Xbox 360 controller.
Yes.
Which I think is actually better than the PS2, PS3 controller.
Absolutely. Yep.
You had squeezy triggers.
Yep.
You had the left bumper, right bumper, which is still the worst wording ever.
Yep.
But then it had a home button, and like this controller is, I've got a really long ass USB here, but it actually had something special. It would
I don't. You keep hitting
off.
You keep hitting the mic with the cord.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's banging.
It actually snap off if someone tripped on your console.
Oh yeah.
So it's normal USB, but then it had some sort of special adapter that would just easily break away. Which is actually really cool. And
really clever.
I can still use this on Steam on my computer, and it's like fine. No problem. Like I can still play. Well, what's that game we just played, Back 4 Blood?
Yes. Did you play with that?
This.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool.
It rumbled, all the prompts come on the screen, like it's still compatible with all the modern Xbox games.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And that's the thing. Growing up, cool. Like I feel like I don't know who was fighting and who was defending these things. Like as much as I love the GameCube controller, I don't really care too much for the PS1 or PS2 controller. But I feel like when we got to 360 and PS3, the 360 controller is just awesome, isn't it? Like I feel like it's just
it's really good. Like comparing it to the PS3 controller, like this thing is
trash now.
It's trash. Obviously, I feel like this must be the one where they didn't have the Rumble patent, so they didn't release the Rumble.
No.
I can't find any other controllers.
It was just
I must have sold them, but
yeah,
this one doesn't rumble, and it's so light and it feels gross going back to touching this compared to the other controllers.
You're absolutely right. Like at the time, it was fine, but now you hold it, and how does it feel in your hands? Like it just feels, feels like garbage, doesn't it?
Light. I don't want to use it. Like I'd rather use that Xbox controller. Like it had the curve. The Xbox controller has like at least curved grips.
Yep.
These grips are like just plain. Like they're just the shape. Yeah. They're the same as the PS1, aren't they?
Yep. Going from PS1 to PS2 to PS3, the controller didn't evolve too much.
I think the only thing that's changed is obviously I can't see on the camera, but I'm guessing where these triggers are, they change the shape up a bit. They're a bit more curvy. They probably like fit under your fingers a bit better. But
that 360 controller beats it every day of the week.
Way better.
And like we didn't grow up as Xbox kids. Like we had 360s for a little bit, but man, like that controller is so much better. So much better.
So I feel like the Wii's pretty popular, Nick.
The one that took the world by storm.
Everyone knows what the Wii controller is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
I found this in my box.
that's brilliant. That's so
It's
good.
it's the Wii wheel with like had a weird ass B button on the back,
Yeah, I wish I still
and
had.
then just another hole just so you can pop the controller out for some reason.
I wish I still had the Link's crossbow training.
Oh,
That piece of plastic garbage.
but then
But
speaking of all this plastic, it also had all the Do you count all the Xbox the Guitar Hero
yeah,
stuff, and the drums?
yeah.
Are they controllers?
I mean, think about here's one. Here's going back in time for anyone that's still watching. Remember the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Donkey Kong?
I was hoping you still had it.
No, I have no idea what happened with those. But yeah, like
Did you have two? No.
nah, just the one. But like playing two, they were great games too. Like Donkey
They
Kong,
were so good.
Jungle Beat, and Donkey Konga, like great songs. But then also
Nick, you know how like who's Freddie Mercury? What's his band?
Queen.
Queen. I wasn't exposed to Queen until Donkey Konga.
Tonight, I'm on a rocket ship on my way to my just like so good. This controller.
And then so like you've got the Wii remote.
Remember when we made like the paper ones of these, but they were like half the size. We printed them out from your computer.
Yes.
Because we
No,
tried...
I think it was actual size.
No, trust me, it was a lot smaller. It was so much
It was smaller.
It was small. It was
So
definitely...
Nick and I, we were so ready to have the Wii in our lives.
Yes.
I was in grade 12. I think you were in grade 11.
Yeah.
And we made papercraft versions of them, which was actually very fun, very cool to do. But yeah. Do you like the nunchuck?
Yeah, it was like the Wii is a very weird controller, isn't it? Like going from everything else of what it was to then this with the nunchuck. I mean, it took the world by storm, but so different to everything else. Like the nunchuck, and you're playing, and we're doing these with the games, and like little maracas.
The stupid rabbit game. That's the one I hated the most.
I mean, doing this was a lot better than breaking our hands with the 64 controller. But like, man, Nintendo.
I had the dildo covers, but I couldn't be bothered busting them out. Like they can stay in the box.
Yeah.
But I think I was always jealous of your gold one because I had the Motion Plus built in.
Yeah.
And I was too cheap
Motion Plus
to buy the Motion Plus.
Motion Plus.
Oh, so I must have bought Wii Sports Resort that had like the little extension.
Yes, you did.
And that's still in the box, but I'm like, I don't want to bust that out.
That thing, yeah. But yeah, the nunchuck is all a bit weird.
Oh, I like the nunchuck. It was actually really good. Bring him out again. Like, I'd sit back and play games. I'd be like, one arm's up here, nunchucks in my lap.
And you just be
But
like,
it's actually really cool.
I remember being so disappointed as a teenager when like Zelda came out, and I'd be like, and you could literally just be like,
just a little wiggle,
wiggle.
And then we had this one, Nick.
Yeah.
Did you have this one?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I don't remember using it.
It was for all the virtual console games.
Remember
Remember when they added like yeah.
It's like a cute Super Nintendo controller, and then
it absolutely
what?
Is.
I don't ever remember this, but there's a little thing on the back.
Oh yeah,
and there's a button on top here, right?
Yes, it clipped onto something.
Yeah, but like I don't think it clipped onto anything.
No, it definitely there'd be.
Was it an accessory that clipped it onto?
I had it. I can't remember what it was, but it clipped onto something. I had it. I can't remember what it was. Like
sure. I reckon if it was, it would have been like this.
I was gonna say. I think it was like that, and you were doing this with games, and then pushing the button. It was. I don't know. But I
like pointing. Yeah. I think both of my TV remotes are pointer.
Yeah, I like pointing as well. Like I got playing first person shooters, like playing Metroid Prime or the Metroid Prime trilogy with this, or playing Pikmin with this. Everything with the Wii remote, like pointing, so much better. So much better.
Pointing was great. Pointing in and out. Oh, that was so awkward and weird, and so hard to do.
Yeah, but yeah, great control. I mean, like so simple for all the oldies to pick up. Like, yep, just like bowling balls. You push the button in, and then you go like this, and then you let it go. Took the world by storm. The little controller that could.
A little controller that could.
Yeah. So you still have do you still have the piece of trash for the next one?
No, I sold my Wii U.
Oh, good. Wasn't it like when they brought out Twilight Princess or something?
The gamepad actually wasn't too bad because I think no, it was pretty shit. It's heavy. I think what I liked about the gamepad and maybe the Vita, I think did it as well, is I guess other consoles sort of do it now. But like you had your controls, right? And then because there was a touchpad at your thumbs, if they had like contextual menu items or selections on the edge of the screen, it was actually, I think, like a really cool thing.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think many games would have utilized it. And yeah.
The only fun I had with the Wii U gamepad was with that game that was it
Nintendo Land, right?
Nintendo Land, yeah, that's it. And like having
had the camera built in.
Yeah,
remember the camera like
having your face
and, like
on the screen.
one of us was Toad or Mario or something like that, and you'd be like, you could see the person's like eyes on the screen when they're about to like hunt you down. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and it was displayed to everyone on the TV. Like, oh, that was so so clever.
As crap as that console was, like, I wish I had one here because I still remember holding it like a year or two ago, and it's just a plastic piece of trash. It is trash as well. As much trash as that PS3 controller. It's just terrible.
The Pro controller was actually really good, Nick, and we did that cool thing, the yin and yang thing we did.
Yeah,
done that a few times.
Yeah, the Wii. Yeah, I wish we still had those to show off, but
hold on.
Oh, do you still have
Entertain the audience for a second.
Oh, okay. I can just edit this bit out, but hey, audience, today oh man, I did a really awesome leg day at the gym, but then I dressed up as Spider-Man. You can follow me at Brisbane Spider-Man on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm so tired doing handstands and hanging off lampposts and climbing in trees and stuff. Being Spider-Man today was exhausting. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. And I had karate.
I could post the picture of the controller we did. Maybe I should do that as a thumbnail.
Maybe. Yeah.
But like, this is my very floppy DS.
Jesus, you're a little bit.
But like, we must have done something cool. Like, what we
Yeah, I had a black DS and you had a white DS.
All we did was change the battery component and the Game Boy Advance slot.
Didn't we took the shell off? Yeah.
Yeah, but on the yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we took the shell off.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did that on the Pro controller for the Wii U. It was actually really cool.
Yeah.
I sold it like that.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, me too. It's funny, like I think about that. I feel like that's one of the things that would be unique to us. Like, think about how many other people in the world would have like a best friend. Like, I bought the white controller. I bought the black controller.
I bought the black controller.
Well, let's pull them apart and have black and white controllers. And which,
like, you know what? I'll just find the picture I took of it, and I'll make that the thumbnail. The best controller? Question.
I mean, I thought we'd just hold up all the controllers on each, and you get
too busy
to be decided. Okay, yeah, fair. But yeah, look at that Wii U. Look at that trailer playing now. Look at this Wii U gamepad piece of trash. Oh
yeah, there you go. I got a lot of fair few trailers there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The best thing about the Wii U was probably Nintendo Land, but
Nick, the gamepad I think was the first Nintendo controller to have clickable thumbsticks.
Ah, yeah, they just showed that, and it's like, was that a new thing? But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was. And we were just like, oh, finally, thank God.
And I actually think it was one of the first controllers that could control the TV. Turning on the gamepad would turn the TV on.
Oh, we've hit 40 minutes. Well, we got about 5 minutes left before we go over.
Oh, we don't. Well, we can go
I guess we can go as long as we want.
As long as you want. But when Nick, sorry, the Xbox One, Wii U, PS4. We haven't talked about PS4 controller.
PS4 controller was fine. It was for the time. I really liked it for a long time. I've really liked it until.
Do you like the touchpad?
It had its moments, but for the most part, not really. I didn't really care for it. Like it had some useful things, but there were some games that were like, oh, to go to the map screen, swipe up. To go to the item screen, swipe down. To go to this, and just like,
swipe up and down. Wow, I feel like I remember it's like touch the left side. Oh, what I was talking about before, like with the touch screen, like you touch here.
Yeah.
for menu A, or touch over here for menu B.
Yeah.
But you're right. You'd always get confused which is which, and then I'd just be like, just hold. Like, I'll actually, a lot of games, if you hold the touch button, it was a shortcut.
Yes, I didn't know that for so many games.
I'm like, oh, that's so much faster to get to the map screen or whatever, like wherever you wanted to go. And it was one of the first controllers to have the little share button, Nick.
Yeah.
Did you share a lot?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I definitely shared a lot more on the Switch.
Yeah, the old PS4 controller. It's like I thought that controller was. I thought the PS4 controller was great until now. Like now, it's kind of like
until now, Nick. You know, this thing. Oh, hit the microphone again. Sorry. You know, we're near the end. The DualSense is actually really heavy. It's really big.
It's solid, right? You could almost kill someone with it.
Well, you know, I've dropped them on my face. DualSense #1 in pain.
Right. Fair.
Then the Xbox One's next. But yeah, like I feel like this is such a refinement and such a better controller than this PS4 one. Like, I don't want to go back and touch this ever again.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Xbox 360 controller, still good. This PS4 controller, like, move on.
It was fun. Yeah, and that's what I think I love about it. Like the Sony controllers, like PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, all pretty much the same. PlayStation 4, great controller, and then PS5, PS4 is garbage compared to the PS5 controller. It's just like
I haven't used these ones yet on any games.
What's your favorite thing about it though? Tell me. I know you.
The colors. Oh, the PS4 controller.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about it?
I really love the rumble triggers, and honestly, I was shocked you turned them off.
For Spider-Man, yeah, I didn't. Well, that was the first game I played. I didn't
even notice them in Spider-Man.
Really? It was something about.
I noticed the rumble. I didn't notice any of the trigger features.
But you're right. When I first played in Spider-Man, it felt like my controller was broken because to shoot the web, you go, and it was just this weird click, and I didn't like it until I played Resident Evil.
Oh no, Nick! I just looked at my blue controller, and like there's a scratch on the touchpad.
Oh no!
And that's definitely. Oh no, it's gone now.
Okay, probably because you dropped them all.
Yeah. Oh no, it's still there. It's definitely because I dropped them.
Like that's the thing. Microsoft had the trash Xbox controller with their first console, and then they hit gold with the 360, and they've just refined it and perfected it over the.
I don't know if the Xbox One is much different than this one. I think they added the share button.
I don't know. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh no, you've got an Elite because that's not a. Is that an Elite 2 or an Elite 1?
This is an Elite 2.
Does it have USB-C?
Oh no, it doesn't. It's the. What's the other one? Not USB-C. The other one.
USB micro.
The
worst.
Yeah, micro. Yeah, the crap one. But I took the little triggers out. I don't know who these people are. Oh, I've gone blurry. I don't know who these psychos are that this isn't enough. Like you got the 4 on top, and then this isn't enough buttons. You have to have the 4 on the back easily.
It's obviously for first-person shooters, right? So they keep their thumbs on the sticks at all times. But what I don't get about the Elite controller, like, I'm sure it's great, but for those people that are obsessed with precision,
yep,
and like weight, you know what we haven't talked about?
Oh,
like they'd be playing with mouse and keyboard, right?
Oh yeah, the worst.
Which I think is a terrible, absolutely terrible controls, which I do not want to talk anymore about.
No,
but why do they need that? I don't get it.
That's terrible. It's my roommate is all PC Master Race, and he's it's so many buttons on the keyboard. No, pass. It's crap.
But like, this is I got an ergonomic keyboard, Nick.
Would you rather use this or that?
The problem is, at the very start, you talked about how smart the D-pad is, right?
Yes.
How amazing the D-pad is. You can use your thumb to go in all 4 directions. WASD. How many fingers does that require, Nick?
3.
3. It's not your thumb. Your thumb's reserved
for space
for the touch bar, the space bar. That's it.
and maybe like control. Your pinky is used for like control or shift. Or
Like, I get you using all your fingers, but like, it hurts.
just like
I haven't built up
this weird.
PC Master Race control fingers.
I mean,
but your keyboard doesn't rumble.
I mean, I've played games where I've had to do like this weird claw
grip
to sometimes play some games just with depending on just for efficiency for a couple things. But man, nah.
I think definitely.
Sorry to your PC fans out there, but
we're not PC people.
You
definitely.
You're probably not going to like us here.
Playing Breath of the Wild, I think I switched the jump and whatever the other button was.
Yeah.
So I had to like do this weird claw grip tap. I can't show my finger on the screen. It's too hard.
No, that's weird. That's why I'm like back here doing this. Yeah, you're right. There's been a few games where you just have to do these weird little holdings of the controller.
And then Nick, I think the Switch controllers together, the Switch Joy-Con, I think it has more buttons than a Xbox One, a Xbox Series, or PS5 controller.
Yeah, I think.
But they're not all accessible at once.
No, but that's do you like the Joy-Cons?
So honestly, the Joy-Cons, I love the clickiness. The Joy-Cons aren't comfortable for a long time.
No.
Even this grip, like some games, it's okay, but a lot of the games, like there's just certain styles of game that like always require you to be holding up all the time, or like constantly pressing something, like or holding a button down. And the bee's knees, the Pro Controller, like it's way better, way more comfortable.
But that's the thing, like it just like going from like after playing with the Xbox controller, where it's pretty much the same thing, like the offset buttons, and they use the A, B, X, Y, it's all that sort of stuff. This really does feel like a toy compared to this. It really does. Like
the Pro Controller.
Yeah, like I don't like. I thought it was fine. It's fine. It gets the job done. But compared to this, which is pretty much the same type of thing, like this feels weightier. Everything just feels tighter and just like, I don't know.
Well, Nick, this one has rechargeable batteries built in.
I know. How stupid. Like, what year is it? It's not like, there goes one. One's fallen on the ground. I have to pick that up later. What is this crap? I can't remember the last time I used batteries. Like,
look. Like PS3 controller had a rechargeable.
Oh,
and that was wireless.
Even vibrators have moved to rechargeable stuff.
Because so many people, I troll people online, and they go, "Oh, I just like it because if the batteries die, I can just replace the battery straight away, and I can keep playing." Are you going to replace the batteries in your vibrator and keep going? You want that shit rechargeable. You just want to plug it in, right?
That's right.
You want to be done, plug it in, and it's ready for you the next day.
Or the next couple hours later, yeah. But whatever floats your boat. We're all very accepting and loving here at Nick and Jeff.
But Nick, this controller, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's in past controllers, but it's actually the PS4 controller has it. What else? But even the Pro Controller, there's a texture on the back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
On the PS4, it's not as great and prominent as the PS5 and the Xbox One.
Yes.
But I really love the feeling and texture on the back of these controllers. They're actually really good. Like, it's really smart.
It feels really like grippy. I don't know.
And especially like you look at these big chunky, I can't see it much because of the lighting, but like the handles feel good. Like you can just grab it, rip it apart, and it's fine.
We're gonna have to wrap this up, I think, because I think the playlist has ended. It just says subscribe now.
No, subscribe now.
Which is also
well, Nick. We should end on that. We got through all the controllers.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the Joy-Con enough?
Yeah. It's really small. I don't like. You go to play a game like this, and it just like look at the size of my hand compared to this. Like,
I actually love playing Mario Party with a single Joy-Con. It makes me very happy because obviously you're not putting a lot of strain on your hand the whole time.
It's just like
I love sharing the joy with others. But yeah, I like collecting them. They're not the most comfortable controller. Um,
HD Rumble's
but I'm
pretty great.
glad they're consistent. Like I was a bit worried about the Switch Pro. That never happened. They're like, oh, they're going to change the
Yeah,
Joy-Con.
yeah,
Not going to work. But
yeah.
they're all fine. If they make a Switch 2, make a new Joy-Con. That's fine.
Make them bigger. So small. But I guess that's what the Pro Controller's for. Joy-Cons are for kids. Pro Controllers are for big boys.
Nick, I love that the end screen is on subscribe now.
I know. It's a happy accident. Very happy accident.
So 10, at least 10 people, if not more. When I checked like a couple of days ago, they listened to the whole thing, Nick. If you're one of those 10 people and you're not subscribed, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you have to be subscribed.
How do we
have to
measure our internet value if you're not subscribed?
Yes, well, still, I like this whole project is so good. Just to sit down and just talk games and fond memories and stuff. Like it's that's what it's all about. So much
Nick, I
fun.
think, you're right. We've been talking for a while. And my task tonight, I still need to go to bed, but obviously, who doesn't? I've got five $30 eShop cards,
Oh, really?
but I've got to scratch them all off to get the codes to buy my eShop voucher to buy Pokemon Legends.
I've got
So I'm going to put all those codes in so I can set it to download tonight.
I've got a whole thing with that I'll tell you about when the thing is done because it's gone on too long. But oh my god, stupid vouchers. Anyway,
thanks so much for watching, everybody. We're Nick and Jeff. I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick. Don't forget to leave your comments
We'll
for
see
next
you.
week.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about Pokemon next week, probably.
Oh yeah, of course. But we'll still answer some questions. Leave those comments.
Yeah. See you next week, everybody.
See you next week. Love you all. Bye.
Love you.